positive and like Jerry said, uplifting.
It was the camaraderie of it. Okay, what else?
I like the structure.
Yeah.
Seeing the data. Weekly.
Yeah, I like that too. What else?
I like the training.
What?
I like the basic training that they offer in the member success program too, and then all the advanced training.
Yep, that's huge, isn't it? Because we develop those skill sets. Remember, networking is easy, but it's not simple. It requires an ongoing development of skills, our soft skills and leadership skills to be able to network effectively. What are some of the other, what were some of the reasons on this side of the table? What sparked you that made you say, yes, I want to do this?
Part of it's the idea of the power partner, not just the networking, but within all the other members, but that core power partner. People that, where you can hopefully get a good part of your referrals from.
So even a tighter network, okay? How about over here?
I'd say it was like an involvement from the community. Generally, someone like myself who's new to the community, it's a good way to meet local people and get kind of assimilated to the geographical area.
Okay, and Paula?
I just think the first time I came in, besides the energy in the group, it's the opportunity to do business, and ultimately, it's been awesome.
Great. I'd like to ask you.
It's really solid people, because there are a lot of people in the world, but I feel like when you guys meet every single week, you know that you can trust, there's this built-in trust, and it's just really good people. And if you're not good people, you'll probably not stick around.
Yeah, that's, yes, we can say yes to this, right?
Yeah.
And part of that is because of our vetting process. We hold each other accountable. And you've heard me say this many times, BNI is not a good fit for everybody. We just are not. And that's okay, because when you take that element combined with the weekly meetings, the training, the structure, and the process, the basics that we were trained to do every week, being very specific in your commercial requests, making sure that you're doing one-to-one meetings on a weekly basis, going to the trainings, adding your ongoing learning CEUs. All of this, it not only holds us accountable, but it elevates us. Would you also agree? Because I know for me, I feel this way. I feel exceptionally privileged for the knowledge that you've all shared, because I can speak very confidently about many businesses and, more importantly, the people behind it. Would you agree that that really changes you in the community?
Sure.
Okay. So the reason that I ask you to think about what was your original motivation, what are some of the benefits, is that for many of you, and this is a huge transition that we've seen in BNI, okay? Now, in my bio, I've been in BNI for 19 years now. That's a long time. Okay? When I first heard about it, you've heard my story. Well, maybe you haven't heard the complete story. But my girlfriend Susan, I tried the chambers, I tried the social things, I tried the all-women's luncheon group, I tried a midday mixed group, and the only thing I gained was like 10 pounds, like literally. No business, just kombucha on the belly on that one. But when I heard about BNI, I was frustrated. I wanted to come in. I didn't want to have to figure out the system. I just wanted to get down to the business of doing business. It was my girlfriend Susan. She was this really avid networker. She worked for me part-time, and she called me up one day and said, "Hey, Deb, I think I found what you're looking for. It's this thing called BNI." Now, I'd never heard of it. All I knew was that Susan was really excited, and she sounded really confident in her conversation. And she goes, "Do you want to go?" And I said, "Well, yeah." And then she goes, "Okay, I don't have a car. Can you drive?" And I said, "Okay." I walked in and boom, I saw it. All the reasons that you just shared. So I'm standing before you because here's what I've observed. Okay, this is an observation. When I was an earlier BNI member, no joke, we would have members that would come in 6 months. They'd stay for 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, maybe a couple of years. So, this was a different BNI system. The system was the same, the culture. It was a culture that was different. People were not so much in it for the long haul because we were really social. Although we were a professional organization, in the chapters it was more social. We have changed a lot of that because we are supposed to be a professional organization. That's why we have the accountability. So what am I leading to? What is interesting, and all you have to do is literally look at the room around you because it's here already. We have more and more members. That once they get beyond that first year and they stay to 18 months, and Dr. Meisner, our founder, he has actually done statistics on this. Members will stay 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. But did you know, you've heard me talk about this, when we go to the international conference, Maria, Ray, you may have seen this. Do you remember in November a special award that was given to a couple of key members at the dinner banquet? Do you remember what that award was for?
I think it was for being here for like 20, 30 years. I mean, it was like original.
Yes. We have original members in Ivan's original chapter that are still active members in their original chapter. Think about that. We're 32 years old now. We have original members that are still actively showing up every single week, and they're in the original chapter. So I want you to really wrap your mind around that, because there's a statement there. What I'm getting at is our members that stay involved in their membership are continuing to derive value. Otherwise, they wouldn't stay, right?
Right.
You've seen people come and go. So here's the thing. Part of how the longer your numbers start ticking up, part of the how for you is that we know we have to do some of the basics, right? But what I'm going to encourage you to do, I'm going to read something to you in just a second. There are times, how's my time?
5 minutes.
Okay, so before I read you what I'm going to share with you, there are times, and just so you know, I have shared this, Ed has been in the room with me a handful of the meetings that I've done this presentation, so I may shock some of you, but I'm just being real, okay? If you knew how many times I wanted to quit BNI, you'd be stunned. And if you knew how many even this year I wanted to quit, you'd be shocked. What was it about? Well, you might lie. Did
3 weeks
I
ago.
call your shoulders?
Yes, you did.
You would be amazed, okay? So why do I stand before you and share that? I can tell you it was like, there was a season in my chapter, we had some high drama going on. It was really intense. In fact, it's part of why my chapter is not in existence anymore. There were certain individuals that created such drama on a personal level that it affected the chapter, and the chapter could not recover. And so it was during that time, I remember 5 times in about 6, well, maybe about 2 months, that I was really ready to walk. So when you have those moments, and I share that with you because it's real, we have those mornings when we get up and we're like, oh my God, I have to go to BNI. Do I have to get up early today? Anybody here? I'm just talking to you, right? We're friends. I'm being transparent. But when you get up and you kick yourself in the butt, you get dressed, you know, you put your best face on, and you get here, what happens? Jerry, what happens?
Yeah, I mean, the group kind of lifts you up.
Yeah, it's that re-energizing. All right, so where am I getting at this? Those of you who've been in BNI, whether you are 1 day old or whether you are multiple years into your membership, cycles happen. That attitude of, man, do I keep on keeping on? Sometimes you might even say, I'm not getting what I need or what I want. So I want you to think about that, because if you have considered that, if you've heard yourself saying that, this is why I'm sharing. First of all, think about your original why, what inspired you to say yes. And then consider, where's your business at today? There's a high probability that where you were when you first said yes and what you needed BNI to supply to you when you first came in is different than where you're at today. Would you agree with me on that? Hopefully your business is bigger, it's grown, your needs are different. You have heard me teach many times over, BNI has the tools, the systems, the resources, and the people to help you through every phase of your business. However, it's up to you. You have to educate us on where you're at and what you need to help you get more of what you want. And that depends upon you. You do it in your one-to-ones. You do it in your commercials, right? Be real. Share with us, because we don't know. We don't know until you tell us. But I encourage you, the longer you're in business, hopefully the bigger your goals are. The bigger your goals are, let us help you achieve that. Does this make sense?
Sure.
Reset your why, reset your vision, because then you will continue, if you participate in the basics, you will continue to develop and derive value from your relationships, from your membership. All right, the last thing that I'm gonna leave you with is an article, and I researched this out. I was like, okay, what do I do? Because I haven't written anything about this subject. So there's a podcast, no, it's not a podcast, this is in SuccessNet. It is called The Secret to Success. I'm not gonna read the whole article, but you might want to. I am gonna read a couple parts so that I get it very verbatim. So Ivan says, over my career, I have observed people with different personalities, backgrounds, behavior styles achieve success in life. And many times I wondered if there was a recurring theme running through their success stories that would clearly illustrate what creates success. Now, he was interviewing people. He interviewed BNI people and non-BNI people for the book that I'm giving out today, which is called Masters of Success. Okay, so he was interviewing people around the world. And he asked thousands of them to what they felt the secret to their success was. And they generally told him things like this: vision, goals, passion, persistence, and systems. Isn't that what we're just talking about here today? Okay. So then he said the same thing. He interviewed people, same questions in business, sports, science, and guess what they told him? Things like vision, goals, passion, persistence, and systems. So he goes, this made him really curious. So he was up, when he was teaching up in LA, he asked college students, guess what? What do you think that they answered to those questions? Vision, goals, passion, persistence, systems. He even addressed certain people, Buzz Aldrin, Aaron Brockovich. Okay, so everybody told him the same thing. So here's what I really want you to have you embrace and take home. He said, I have found that many people are looking for some mysterious and ever elusive secret to success beyond what they already sense to be important. He goes, the truth is there's no mystery. In fact, very often, and I quote verbatim, success is simply the uncommon application of common knowledge. When you hear successful people talk about it, have you ever noticed that you rarely hear a real secret, right? So ultimately what they talk about is keep your eye on the ball. And what you really want to do is focus on what we talked about: vision, goals, passion, persistence, and a system. Keep yourself in the game. Keep yourself just moving on, and you will continue to derive benefit and success from your membership. So with that, thank you.
Now that we know more about the benefits of BNI,